I'm Lucy Edwards, Director of Strategic Engagement at Matterport and VHT Studios. And today I am here with Mike Downer. Mike is a top producer of Coldwell Banker in Naples, Florida.
Thank you.
So Mike, you are using Matterport quite a bit, and we're going to talk about the statistics and why. But my main question is, how do you use Matterport on your listing presentation?
Well, one of the things we find is that when we use Matterport, we get a better listing presentation because all agents do photography these days. It's almost the entry level. But Matterport sets us above and beyond because when we can show people a 3D tour, the customer, when they're looking at the house, comes in and says, great, I can see the ceilings, I can see the floors. I can do it at my own pace more so than anything, and it's not edited by another photographer. And so they get the whole picture in one shot.
What about some challenges that you come across when you're using a digital twin or 3D tour?
Well, it's funny because the one thing that we do come up with, and this is kind of a bizarre thing when it first happened, was that everybody, when they get ready for their photography, for their photo shoot day, one of the things they want to do is they want to put everything in a closet. Yep. And so what they forget is that Matterport actually takes a three-dimensional tour of the entire house, including the closets. And so occasionally we'll get the photographer who shows up, opens the closet, and things start falling out all over the place. So it takes us a few minutes to put it all back where it needs to be for the tour. But other than that, we just love Matterport.
How did Matterport enhance the marketing of the property?
Well, again, it's a way for us to stand out. We use the listing concierge package with Coldwell Banker. And so it includes a lot of different things, but one of the things that we do as an extra through Matterport is we offer this to all of our customers, regardless of price point, whether it's a manufactured home or a multi-million-dollar property, because we find that the customer that's on the buy side, one of the reasons they're looking online for homes these days is, believe it or not, to exclude houses. They're picking the ones they don't want to see, not the ones they do want to see. And so if the photography isn't perfect and the video isn't perfect, people don't see the house. And so Matterport gets around that because we get more views, we get more action, we get more interest in the house, encouraging them to come see it in person.
Please share the feedback from your buyers on 3D tours.
Well, we work a lot with the international community, especially in the luxury end. And so what happens is, obviously they can't see the house immediately. And rather than us going out there with an iPhone and saying, hey, here's what it looks like type of thing, again, it gives them the comprehensive view of the house, right? They can take their time with it. We find that we spend more time with the listing, and so we get better feedback, right? We get more people coming in from international places going, wow, it does look like what we saw online. So there's no surprises when they show up to actually see it in person.
How do you decide which property deserves a 3D tour, a digital twin?
Well, in our case, we believe that every property deserves our best. And so we take Matterport with every listing that we do. And we want to make sure that, like I said, whether it's anything from a manufactured home to a multi-million-dollar house on the beach, showing it in its perfect light gets our customers more money on the listing side for their house. And that's what it's all about.
How did Matterport tour or 3D tour affect the speed of the sale of the house and the sale price?
Well, we find that the sale price is a little bit higher than other agents because, like I said, people know what they're getting into before they get there. And we also find that they sell faster because there's no surprises when they get there. There's nothing worse than somebody coming out and saying, well, we saw it online and it looked like it had a lot more room. What happened to all the room that we saw online? Because an agent's kind of faking it with a fisheye lens or something like that. The Matterport tour gives them the ability to see exactly what they're getting into. It also gives them the ability to see how the furniture is laid out and things like that so that they can get a vision of how their furniture fits into the new house. And so we find that they do sell faster and for more money.
Do you use other Matterport tools like floor plan or the measuring tool or anything else?
Yeah, especially here in Florida. Agents aren't allowed to particularly put in dimensions of properties and things like that because they'll get sued in some cases. Mm-hmm. And so what we find is that with the Matterport tour, people want to know, will my furniture fit in the room? Do I have room for a king-size bed? Can I put in 2 twins in that guest room, that type of thing? Where would my couch go? And so the Matterport tour gives them a floor plan with pure dimensions. And so they can get that feeling of exactly what they're getting in every house.
How do you differentiate when you should use traditional photography and 3D tour versus all-in-one product where we do the 3D, but we pull the photos and we edit them? How do you differentiate?
Well, in this case, as I said, we do always the Matterport video itself, but a lot of times we'll have the photographer come out to take specific pictures, because with the high dimensional aspect of it, it sees things through the windows. It can tell you the dimensions outside, kind of a view of what the neighbors are. Are they close? Are they far away? That type of thing. The high resolution pictures, we use those very specifically for magazines and things like that. So sometimes we need them on top of what we're doing with Matterport. And so the all-in-one package gives us the opportunity to do that at a reasonable cost.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Mike. It was a great pleasure to spend time with you. I do appreciate that you are using 3D tour and digital twin on every single listing, regardless if it's a rental, if it's a high-end or everyday home. So it's amazing.
Well, we feel our customers deserve our best in every instance, and VHD makes that possible.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.